Assalamu alaikum. So before we proceed with the video, I wanted to make something clear that I honestly don't know how to make these kinds of short videos. Okay, I am very new to this. I am saying this because a brother had criticized me in one of my previous videos. So I basically teach Arabic grammar from specific grammar books. Okay, so making these kinds of short videos discussing specific topics is very new to me. So inshallah I hope to master it in future. So in this video we will try to discuss transitive and intransitive verbs in Arabic. Okay, so as you might already know that verbs in Arabic are divided into different categories according to their function. Okay, like for example, with regards to time, the verb is divided into mazi, mudariya, amr. With regards to affirmation and negation, musbat and manfi. Okay, and with regards to their function, lazim, muttadi, ma'ruf, majhul, and with regards to their base, mujarrad and mazid fihi. Okay, so you get the point. Okay, the topics which we are going to be discussing in these videos are al-fi'l al-lazim and al-mutaaddi. I think there should have been a shadda on dal. Okay, anyway, and even we will try to discuss al-maruf and majzul. Okay, so a verb according to its function is divided into al-fi'l al-lazim and al-fi'l al-mutaaddi. Okay, fi'l al-lazim stands for intransitive verb and fi'l al-mutaaddi stands for transitive verb. So what is transitive and intransitive verb in the first place? If you are familiar with English grammar or English verbs, then you might have a good idea about it. Even if you don't, I hope you get after watching this video, inshallah. So I kind of basically wrote my own small definition which can be 100% wrong according to English grammar, that is the construction of this sentence. Okay, so you can try put this on Grammarly to see if it is accurate or not, but the thing which is written is absolutely correct, inshallah. So al-fi'l al-lazim, that is intransitive verb, and fi'l al-mutaaddi, that is transitive verb. Okay, so the definition I wrote of fi'l al-lazim: a kind of verb that only requires its subject or doer, that is fa'il in Arabic, and does not require an object. As for fi'l al-mutaaddi, that is transitive verb, a kind of verb that requires an object, that is maf'ul bihi in Arabic, in addition to its subject or doer, that is fa'il. Okay, so I don't think that anyone understood anything from this. To understand this, we will take help from examples. Okay, so intransitive verb is basically a verb which completes its meaning just by the person who is doing it. Okay, or just by the subject or doer of it. But while in transitive verb, first you should have a person who is performing the act, then you should have a thing, that is object, on which he performs that act. Okay, so we will take help from few examples which I wrote. So al-fi'l al-lazim, the intransitive verb. So these are the examples of intransitive verb, that is the verb that only requires its subject, doer or fa'il. Jalasa Fouwazun, which means Fouwaz sat. Okay, Jalasa means sat, this is in past tense. Fouwaz means basically me. Okay, so in this sentence, Jalasa is your verb, that is fail, which means sat, this is in past tense, and Fawazun is your subject or doer or fa'il in Arabic. Okay, which basically means Fawaz sat. So sitting is basically an act, the one performing it is Fawaz. So the sentence is complete, no need to require, you don't need an object. Okay, similarly, Namat Tiflu, the boy slept. Okay, the child slept, anyway, same thing. So Nama is a verb which means slept. A tiflu is the one who is sleeping, that is subject, doer or fa'il. Okay, the sentence is complete, you don't require an object. Ja al mudarrisu, the teacher came. Okay, so ja is your verb, that is coming, and al mudarrisu is the person who came, who performed the act. Okay, so al mudarrisu is your subject, doer or fa'il in Arabic. So the sentence is complete with the verb and with fail and its fa'il. You don't require an object here. Now let's take example of transitive verbs. So this is the translation which I had written. Jalasa verb, was subject, doer. Okay, so these are the examples of transitive verb, that is al-fi'l al-mutaaddi. Okay, shariba Fawazun al-qahwa, which basically means Fawaz drank coffee. So shariba is your verb, that is fail. Fawaz is the fa'il, that is the person performing the action of drinking. So Fawaz drank. So what did he drink? Al-qahwa, that is coffee. Al-qahwa, coffee, that is your maf'ulun bihi, that is object. Okay, so basically Fawaz performed an action of drinking on the coffee. Zarabatil ummu at-tifla, the mother beat the boy or the kid or the child. Okay, whatever. So zarabat is your fail, that is verb, that is the action of beating. Okay, al is the fa'il, that is the person who is doing the action of beating. Okay, and Whom did she beat? At-tiflu, that is your maf'ulun bihi, that is object in English. Okay. Kataba al-mudarrisu darsa, the teacher wrote. Okay. Kataba means wrote. Okay. This is your verb. Al-mudarris is your file, that is the person doing the action of writing. And what did he write? Ad-darsa, lesson. So ad-darsa is your object, that is maf'ulun bihi. So some rules regarding of i'rab of file and maf'ulun bihi. I am hoping that you are familiar with what is i'rab. Okay, I kind of made a video on it, even though it is not that detailed, but you can look it up. So the file will always be marfu and maf'ulun bihi will always be mansoob. Okay, marfu basically means that if it is a normal noun, then it will have dhamma at the end, but if it is dual, then it will have alif. If it is jama muzakkar salim, then it will have waw. Okay, and so on. And as for mansoob, if it is normal word, then it will have fatha. If it is dual, it will have aini ending, and if it is sound masculine plural, it will have ina ending. Okay, and if it is jama muannas salim, then it will have kasra at the end. Okay, anyways, you can look it up. I hope you already know it, or at least know the basics. Okay, so how should we know if a verb is transitive or intransitive? Okay, this is the English translation. So okay, I wrote here one basic rule you should remember is, if a question of what or who comes to your mind after a verb, then it is most likely a transitive verb. Okay, this is a general principle. Okay, there can be some exceptions, like if you hear someone say I beat and he stops there, then a question will come to your mind, whom did you beat? Okay, now let's take example of the sentences which we wrote. For example, if I were to say katabal mudarrisu, the teacher wrote. Okay, so a question will automatically come in your mind that what did he write? Okay, because just saying that the teacher wrote is basically incomplete sentence. You will be waiting for him to provide more information. What did he do? What did he write? Okay, so here the question of what comes. The teacher wrote what? The lesson. Okay, now for example here zarabatil ummu, the mother beat. So automatically a question arrives, whom did she beat? Okay, so the answer is the boy, the child. Okay, I think there was a mistake in my previous slide. Okay, check of ta. Okay, now here shariba fawazun al qahwa, Fouwaz drank. Okay, if I were to just say Fouwaz drank, then an automatically a question arrives, what did he drink? Okay, either you know it already or you don't, but you need an object to complete the sentence. So Fouwaz drank coffee. Okay, so the general rule is the question of who or what. Okay, because in transitive verb the person performing the action should perform on someone or something. Okay, but now let's take example of intransitive verbs. Jalasa Fouwazun, Fouwaz sat. Okay, so there will not come a question of what or who. Fouwaz sat. If you say what, then it might imply that there was some communication problem, my voice was not clear. Okay, then I would have to repeat the sentence that Fouwaz sat. So there is no question of who or what. Okay, we are not talking about questions like where, why, when. Those are separate things. What we are saying is, if after hearing a word you have a question of who or what, then it is most probably a transitive verb. Now here namatiflu, the boy slept. Okay, you can't say who or what. The boy slept, the boy slept. Okay, where did he sleep, when did he sleep, that are separate things. But for in order for us to know if a verb is transitive or intransitive, a question of who or what should come. So now let's go through some other examples which I gathered. Okay, for practice purpose. Okay, as a practice. Okay, so what we want to find is whether if the verb is transitive or intransitive, that is fi'l al-Muttadi or fi'l al-Lazim. Okay, so the rule is, if there comes a question of what or who after a verb, then it is most probably a transitive verb. And if there doesn't occur any such question, what or who, okay, I am not talking about when, why, where. Okay, we are specifically talking about who or what. Akaltu, which basically means I ate. Okay, so if I come and told you akaltu and then I stop there, then automatically a question will come, unless you already know what I ate. Okay, what did you eat? So akala is transitive verb, so you need to have an object for it. Okay, for example, akaltu pizza, I ate pizza. Akaltu burger. Okay, or akaltu biryani. Anyway, now ra'aitu, which means I saw. Okay, so if I were to tell you I saw and I just stop there, then automatically a question will come, who did you see, or what did you see. Okay, so the question of who or what, so the verb ra'a is transitive, that is fi'l al-Muttadi. Now as for nama, he slept. So does the question of what or who comes? You might say, okay, you might get confused and say who slept. Okay, so we in this scenario we know a particular person. Okay, let's for example let's remove he. Okay, let's say nama Fouwazun, Fouwaz slept. Here we are replacing a proper noun with pronoun. Okay, so he slept or Fouwaz slept. So does there a question of what or who comes? If there comes a question of what or whom, if there comes a question of what, then it most probably means that there was some communication problem. Okay, otherwise the question is invalid. Okay, when did he sleep, why did he sleep, where did he sleep, those are not what we are talking about. Okay, jalasat, which means she sat. Okay, so does the question of who or what comes? Okay, no it doesn't. So this is an intransitive verb. Okay, qara'a, he read. So a question will automatically come. What did he read? So this is transitive verb al-fi'l al-muttadi. Zahaba, he went. What? Who? Okay, the question doesn't fit here. So zahaba is fi'l al-lazim, that is intransitive verb, and it does not require an object. Okay, tabakhat, there is a spelling mistake here. It should have been tabakhat. Okay, I don't want to leave the slide, so I'm not going to correct it. So it should be kha, tabakhat. She cooked. What did she cook? Okay, so she cooked. So a question will automatically come. What did she cook? Now you have to give extra information. Okay, you basically need to provide an object upon which she performed this task of cooking. Let's say she cooked biryani, mandi, anything. Okay, so I guess you get the point. So the conclusion of transitive and intransitive verb is, intransitive verb is basically a verb which only requires its subject or doer, or in Arabic file, and it does not require an object. And file will always be marfu. Okay, that is dhamma ending in normal words, alif in dual, and waw in jama mudhakkar salim, dhamma in jama muannath salim. Okay, etc. And intransitive verb is a verb in which apart from file, that is the subject or doer, you also need to have an object upon which this particular subject or doer or file perform that particular action. Okay, and that object in Arabic is called maf'ulun bihi, and maf'ulun bihi will always be mansub. Okay, that is fatha ending on normal nouns, aini ending in dual, ina ending in plural, and kasra in jama muannath salim, and so on. Okay, now I think we will also try to cover ma'ruf and majhul, that is active voice and passive voice.